What up, YouTube? It's Steven. Welcome back. Alright, so I want to sound off and give my 2.5 cents about the Cynthia G versus Shannon Sharpe situation. Alright, and I know I'm a little late with this, but I'm here now. Alright, so I'm going to read off the tweet that Cynthia G posted on Twitter, and I'm going to read Shannon Sharpe's response, and also just give my thoughts and opinions on the interaction. Okay. So Cynthia G posts, black men except LeVar Ball and Shannon Sharpe, parentheses, who never dated black women, having white spouses and considering them pro-black because they spend part of their time talking about racism and part-time sleeping with white women. But Halle Berry and Serena Williams are sellouts and bedwenches. Alright, so obviously it sounds like Cynthia G is feeling some type of a way about the seemingly double standard between black men and black women when it comes to interracial dating. It seems like, she may be feeling like, well, perhaps it seems like black men tend to get away with dating interracially more than black women, And there's an argument on both sides about that. And Shannon Sharpe, oddly enough, for some reason, replies to Cynthia G. I kind of was like a little surprised by that, actually. So I'm going to read Shannon Sharpe's response, and then I'm going to elaborate some more. All right. Shannon Sharpe responds, not that it's yours or anyone else's damn business who I date. I don't date for approval, and don't need you or others to confirm who or what I am. Enjoy your day. And that's pretty much all he said. And Cynthia G kind of did a like a video response to that, but I'm just going to deal with the tweets for this video. But pretty much the video response was just Cynthia G saying pretty much, well, yeah, you do, and you proved it by responding, right? Because the whole hit dog hollers thing, right? Right. So what I think about this is, I know some people are like, well, Cynthia G has a point. And then other people are like, well, it's none of Cynthia G's business who he dates. And I'll say both of those things are true, right? I think Cynthia G perhaps does have a point. But at the same time, it isn't her business to regulate who dates who within the community. But I don't think that's what she's trying to do. I believe she's trying to call out a double standard within the community when it comes to black men dating interracially versus black women dating interracially. And, I can see where she feels that type of a way about that, right? As well, Cynthia G has spoken about interracial dating and her stance on it. And I think that a lot of people don't like that stance because she's really strong against it. And I think that some people, especially black men, but also some black women, are really like a bit invested in white people, and to an extent just like the system of white supremacy, where they kind of don't want to give up the white people, but they want to receive kind of like the benefits of not dealing with racism, or they're trying to fight racism but also trying to keep some aspects of racism. Like, these people are they're, how can I put this, like, you're fighting the system which incorporates white people, which is pretty much white people, the system of white supremacy and racism, right? But you're going home to it. You're marrying it. You're having children with it, right? So it does seem like it's kind of sends a mixed message. Because here's the thing, when it comes to like, white supremacist folk like the Nazis and the KKK members, they ain't gonna have people in the forefront who do not represent their values. So they're not going to have Trailer Park Billy, who may be a white supremacist, have that mindset, but he may be swirling with Lakeisha, right? They're not going to have him at the forefront. They may still use him, but he's going to be in the background. Okay, he's not going to be in the forefront representing white supremacy. Why? Why do you think that is? Because it sends a mixed message, right? He can't, Trailer Park Billy can't be all like white power, right? Like white power. Well, while I'm doing the black power fist, I don't know, but he can't be like white power. And then when you see him, he's hugged up next to Lakeisha, and he has biracial children. Wouldn't you be like, what the, really? You got the nerve to be saying white power? And then it kind of like brings a lot more things into question. Like, oh, if you were so white power, why did you marry a black woman and have kids with her? Right? Oh, but you love whiteness so much, but you didn't want to perpetuate it. Right? You made sure to get you a black woman and make sure your kids were part black for some, right? It really undermines their agenda, right? And I know that being pro-black and being a white supremacist isn't exactly an equivalent, because I don't think being pro-black means like we want to, like, you know, like be supreme, but it's equivalent enough. All right. So on one hand, I can understand where Cynthia G's coming from on that angle. On the other hand, it's like, well, people's personal business is like people's personal business, right? Like people, well, who people date, it's their business. So you can't, just like Cynthia G wouldn't want someone to regulate who she dates, right? And she says she doesn't date interracially, but still we can be like, oh, well, we don't think you should be dating. You know, we don't think you should be dating that man because perhaps he's, you know, looks a certain way. Like if she was dating like a dude who looked like, or was, you know, similar to like the look of a, like Angel Ramirez Jordan, right? Cynthia G would get some feedback, some negative feedback about that, right? You know, if she was dating a white man, it would be all over for Cynthia G. They already trying to spread lies that she was married to a white man for 12 years and has a biracial son. Like, who be making this stuff up? Like, where the marriage certificate at? Come on. Like, the birth certificate at too? Those are really verifiable lies. Come on. You know. So Cynthia G, you know, she has a point, and I do agree with the point. But she also mentioned like Halle Berry and Serena Williams. And for Halle Berry, I think black men kind of low key, you know, feel some type of way about it, especially the darker skinned black men who kind of feel like they were entitled to Halle Berry. But you notice, you know, Halle Berry did make sure she had her children and married a white man. She had her children with white men and married white men, right? Right? It's important who you have your kids with. It's important who you marry, right? So Cynthia G saying it's the same thing with these men right here. It's important who you dating, who you marry, who you have your kids with. Because that does say something about your mentality and where you're trying to go, what you think about things, right? As well, Serena Williams. I really wish that Serena Williams would have found, you know, a black man to have a kid with. You know, I'm not being like negative and saying, you know, I'm not bashing her or anything, but I kind of feel like for Serena, it probably would have been a lot simpler for her and a lot easier for her to have just had a child with a black man. Even if he was like, you know, a black man, of a lighter hue, you know, it seemed like she may have some type of a thing, or have perhaps a type, you know. But right, it's her preference, right? Haven't we all heard about preferences, right? But I think she did date a dude that was dark skinned before, though. I think it was like someone named LeVar Arlington or something like that. I'm not sure. That's what I heard. You know. But also, back to Halle Berry for a second. You gotta realize that Halle Berry, she is here because, at least partially because of a black man. Like, she exists partially because of a black man, right? And I really think that, like, these black men a lot of times are creating these biracial children, but also they want to try and claim their biracial children as black, which is like, as I said, like, you can't go outside of the community, get married, have your kids, then want to bring your kids back into the community. That ain't cool, right? If you really wanted black children, then you should marry and have children with a black person, or just at least have children with a black person. It's not that hard. So I do kind of feel like we can just be pretty straightforward with that. And I know some people are going to be pissed off about that, but it's the truth. It's just true. It's not me being nasty or attacking people, or anything like that. But it's just like people who didn't go outside the community to have their kids, but had their kids with black people and perpetuated blackness. Shouldn't we kind of be giving them the blackness versus someone who went outside of the community? It's like, pretty much, I'll put it like this. What is the, what's the punishment or the disadvantage or, just the pretty much like if you go outside in the community, what do you lose, right? Because that's the thing, we have choices, and all choices tend to have something you gain and something you lose. So when you go outside the community to have your kids and marry as a black person, what do you lose? What do you gain? Those are good questions. But to go there with the black men more than the black women are creating these, a light-skinned, good hair babies, right? Although they always want to kind of put it on black women, like, oh, you just want light-skinned babies with good hair. But who's actually creating these light-skinned babies with good hair, right? And these kids oftentimes feel some type of a way about black folks. Probably because they didn't have a black influence, probably because a white mom raised them who didn't really like black people, but probably liked other things about black folk, or black men specifically, right? Right? Come on. So we already see the effects of going outside of the community. We see that, right? So why is this still an argument? This shouldn't be an argument, right? And one more thing I want to go into is Shannon Sharpe and his response. Personally, I don't think he should have responded, but if he was going to respond, I really wish he would have dealt with the situation that Cynthia G presented. He didn't really have to go all into it, but pretty much she could have just said, hey, not that it's any of your business, Miss Cynthia G, but I do have love for the black woman. Do have love for the black queens. Something like that, right? Because I believe, like, based on the way that his children look, he did have children at least with a black woman who's more or less his skin tone. But you know how that goes too. Sometimes it's a saying, right? Kind of like the more successful a black man gets, the lighter his woman gets, right? And you know, it's always the first kids, yeah, like the first child or the first set of children who are the black children, right? The, monoracial black children, right? Later on, the children get lighter, right? The children lighten up, and I don't think he has lightened up his children. I don't think he may have another kid. I don't know. That's mixed. I don't know. But he's, as far as I know, you know, with a white woman though. And I did do a video about that too, which I think I'll leave a link in the description if you're interested in watching that. But it was pretty much basically just talking about Shannon Sharpe and kind of like black men like him who are kind of like on the pro-black tip, but have non-black female partners as their, women, our wives, right? And basically in that video it's just like, you kind of just deserve the side eye. Like, it's not that I think that, because I didn't really go that hard on Shannon Sharpe, because, I don't have anything against him. Based on what I've seen, he seems like a pretty cool dude and seems like a likable person, right? But based on, the white partner, the white wife or white girlfriend, it's like a bit of a side eye, It's a side eye. From me, I think people in that situation deserve the side eye, at least, at least, right? But yeah, I really don't think Shannon Sharpe should have responded, because it just kind of gave Cynthia G more shine, honestly. And not that I really mind Cynthia G getting more shine, but it's like, I don't think, for your point in your situation, I don't think you should have given her that shine. And as well, if he did respond, I really wish he would have just, let the black women know that, hey, I do got love for black women. Don't, just because I'm with a white woman doesn't mean I don't have love for black women, right? That I'm still down for not only black people, but specifically black women too. Yeah. But yeah, there you have it. That's my 2 cents. So what do you guys think? Feel free to let me know in the comments section. Thank you very much, and adios and goodbye for now.